Okay, this one's from Mrs. Waymart. I've heard a few B-sides that really show a lot of promise as a left-field sort of experimental type band. Will you be pursuing more of this with your music, or even do something as a side project?
Well, I think the experimental side has made it onto the album, like with Something Rotten on this, on Sleeping with Ghosts. It's kind of, it's always been a part of the band ever since we started, almost 10 years ago, that side to us. I think it's just sort of us getting a bit bored of just sort of playing the guitars and basses and moving on to different instrumentations and sort of other weird instruments lying around in the studio at the time. Really.
Yeah. Do you get bored of your own songs a lot when you have to play them over and over again?
It's not so much the performance aspect of it, you know, because they kind of evolve and they change, and you know, there's an audience and there's an exchange of energy there. It's like going back and listening to your own records is quite painful. Or like when you have to, when a show gets taped and then you know, you have to approve certain songs, you know, by the next day, and then you have to listen on the bus to your own to yourself.
And you have to let that stuff go, because you can't do a lot once it's recorded on 2 tracks of tape. You know what I mean? It's pretty difficult.
So you can't kind of overdose on yourself. You know, some people wouldn't actually believe that we'd feel that way about ourselves. But yeah, you know, it's just kind of like you can't.
What do you mean? Look at you! You're a perfectionist. Christ, look at how much effort you put in just to come on Gonzo. It's funny because one of the most commonly asked questions, and I won't make this a personal one because everyone wants to know, is why don't you play tracks like Nancy Boy in the set anymore?
Well, it's kind of hard to connect to that era now.
Yeah. Grown out of it in a way.
It's a long time ago.
Different band, different personnel, different kind of like, you know, atmosphere and sort of camaraderie within the band. At that point, it felt like we were sort of like 3 people playing music for themselves, you know, and now we feel like a real unit when Steve joined on the Without You I'm Nothing album. And so you just don't want to lie to the audience by kind of like playing songs that you don't have an emotional connection. Yeah, exactly. You know, but we do a hip-hop version of Teenage Angst now, which and we did start to play Lady of the Flowers a little bit.
You've been threatening this new rap side project for a while now. Whenever I see you, you're always talking about how you got rhymes.
Bad ones. Very bad ones.
All right, Placebo on the couch for the whole day, Gonzo style. We're going to get through as many of these as possible, but given that there's over 400, it's humanly impossible. So we've got to handle our business. Here's today's top 5 list. Let's kick it off.